It is like healing the mind of all those venomous snakes, right? It's like your very own beliefs, those strings, those ties, those lies, those snakes end up biting you. It's like your beliefs end up biting you in the butt, right? Because they're just capping you, they're just limiting you. And so it's like, how long did you let them grow? How big did they get? How venomous are they? How insistent were you on keeping them alive and well, growing, feasting, and feeding? It's only us. So it's only our own mind that is either eating itself like an autoimmune or freeing itself. And so it's like you hear face your fears, fight your demons, slay those dragons, cut the head off that snake, all these things, it's all implying the same thing. It's like, how many lies and ties do you got going on? How many limits do you have up there? How many beliefs are you keeping going? How many are you feeding? Some of us, I don't know if you remember way back when, and again, I don't know that I realized all of it so completely as I do now, but there was a vision. And I mean, when I tell you I was in a bed of snakes, I mean, it very much reminded me later of, there's a scene in Indiana Jones where he has all these snakes. And I didn't understand it all. And at that point, I think it was like, oh, everyone around me, right? It was like blaming outside oneself. And I thought that it was also what it was telling me. And it was also saying, wrong environment, but because maybe you weren't strong enough or being supported enough to stand up and face those. But that doesn't make those around you necessarily the snakes, right? Everybody's allowed to believe what they believe. You have to be strong enough to decide what you believe and not, it's like play party to or fall down to or bow to their beliefs. I don't know how to explain that better right now, but I think you understand that. And so it was like I was holding on to so many beliefs, even the belief of that I needed to believe what they believed for them to like me, or I had to accept what they were putting down, right? Like all this nonsense, but it's my nonsense. Do you understand? Like it's my snakes, it's my lies, it's my ties. It's only us who's doing that. And when we're doing that, it does hurt us because that thought hurts. So it's biting me. So that venom is poisoning me. It's me. That belief is hurting me, right? And so I have to face that belief. I have to see that belief. And I think that was part of the problem. It was like such a sea of snakes that it was like I couldn't. It was more of like this overwhelm and fright of the number of snakes, the amount of snakes, that it was like, how would one ever get out of any of this, right? And so it is like you have to just start diving in anywhere, right? Just diving in. And yeah, you're going to get eaten alive all along the way because the other snakes are going to be biting you as they see you biting off the heads of the other snakes. So it's like, how strong are you to survive all that venom that you put up in there, right? Like that you swallowed, that you believed, that you accepted, that you kept alive and well. So now you have to slay each one, but you can't stop until you can see clearly, right? Until it's rid out of there, and you can step back and assess the situation, and then sweep all that out. And it's. I think this is good imagery to understand what we do to ourselves, and how awful it can feel. Like beliefs can feel like venom when you realize it's the very belief that you accepted, swallowed, allowed, repeated that is keeping you stuck, stagnant, hurt, and harmed, keeping you small and eating you alive. Some of us have so much that it literally, that's the image they're giving me. It's the snake eating its own tail, and that it becomes an autoimmune disease. It's like you're killing yourself with your own beliefs. You're stopping and stagnating yourself with your own lies and ties. your own repetition, your own repeating of what is harming you. But again, some of us are so busy, quote, attempting to survive, that we can't slow down and recognize we're running from ourselves, that we're the cause of all of our own pain. And that in itself is painful, right? That in itself is like, are you fucking kidding me? How stupid, right? Like it's so much for some of us. I always say that because I know there are people who are well past all of this, have cleared this clutter out centuries ago, right? This is the generation after generation of not having these embedded nonsense, right? It was so cleared out of the generational line so long ago that they didn't continue feeding it in following generations. It's like I don't know how to describe what they're showing other than it seems like it was like cleared out so long ago, or maybe it never got cluttered up. But I guess it's the idea that they've shown me before. Forgive it, just easier visualization of like pure beings, right? Truly recognizing their worth and knowing it through and through. It's like the seeds of doubt don't get planted there. They die off and they stay aligned and pure. And so, and they show that those are the lines. There are some lines that do get passed down that way because it is embedded that way. So of course they raise their children with that full awareness, right? Where they're not putting any strings or ties or lies on their children, and they're not keeping themselves in those lies and ties, and they teach their children that kind of truth and understanding. And when that's done, again, forgive me, it's just how they show it. It's like when that is done correctly, it really does allow for the easy breezy. It's like not getting caught up in the everyday traps that most of us do. I hope that makes sense, because it did to me, and how they're showing me. But I don't know if I'm describing the visualization clear enough, or if you're getting trapped up in the words, because I don't mean like perfect beings. I don't mean it that way when I say pure. I just mean they're clear enough within themselves that they don't lie to themselves, or they don't allow other people's lies to strangle them and embed in them. And so it's like their mind and body are free of those venomous snakes. And when anybody tries to plant a venomous snake in them, on them, around them, it just slides right off. It's not, because they are connected to themselves, their higher selves, and unconditional love, to know clear, pure truth. And again, for them, so I hope you can hear that. So it's like, it's not some ideal of your perfection, because again, that's just a belief of yours anyway, and then it's dead. That's just one more string and tie and lie. They don't live by that they're so past all that. It's past all that. But it's like we have to get up to certain points before we can see that clearly and live from there clearly. It is almost like we have to go through all the lessons and all the torment. It can feel like torment and torture, of which we implanted ourselves, or we continue feeding, because we're all responsible for ourselves. There does come a point in time, even if it's like an ongoing breeding of this, is what I mean, that you have to take charge. And that's the option. But if you can do it, it is the idea, then you build from there. And it's like those around you can help clear out their clutter too, like help them see clearly. And it's I guess they're showing it's like the ideal world of that everybody would elevate to that level. Again, just terms, elevate, just terms, like seeing it from that higher vantage point, freeing themselves from all that stuff that's keeping them stuck or bound. It's just terms we use to best describe the feeling and the understanding. And yet I'm aware that it can be annoying. Like, I know when I've been in lower states and hear this stuff, it's challenging to fully grasp or understand, even though the desire is there. And so it's like the idea of just keep believing in yourself, loving yourself, and learning yourself, right? So that you can free yourself, so you can see yourself more clearly. It is that idea, like see yourself more clearly, meaning like truly seeing where you're eating yourself, poisoning yourself, not loving yourself. Like, oh my God, doing this, saying this, moving this way means I believe this, this, and this. I can't believe I believe that. It's almost like shocking sometimes when we're like, I just didn't realize it. I didn't untangle it. I didn't see that's what that was. We just don't, right? But then it's like, don't ever give up on yourself with that either, where there's always more. But don't get so stuck in that sea of snakes that you don't live, right? So there's a balance to everything. I hope you can hear all of this. I feel like it's really valuable for some people, and it is so worthless to others. And I don't know who's listening. And the reason I point that out, not it's like I'm not downplaying myself and what I'm saying. It's that I don't want you to be at a higher elevated state and get stuck in your head when you didn't need to be. You were free and clear, right? But again, I also feel like, well, then they wouldn't be listening if they're truly free and clear, in that they wouldn't, even if they were listening, it wouldn't bother them any which way, because they are free and clear. Do you see what I'm saying? Just interesting how these are all coming out the way they are. Because I think this might have to do with the lesson they were teaching me about intentions. If I end up putting it out, I think I recorded it yesterday or the day before about, maybe it was even last night. You know how I am with time. About intentions not mattering. It's like, which side of history do you want to be on? And it actually is irrelevant. But it's like you have to it's like they elevate you to a certain point. It is like where all your preferences are in place. It's like your true authenticity has shown through. I guess it's the idea of if you're from your mother or your father, or you're from God or the devil, like your authentic self is good or bad. And again, these are all still judgments, but they're judgments you've heard, right? And the Bible has taught it as such. And so if we simplified it down to that, it's like your authentic true origin is what? And whatever that is, that label, and unfortunately, it's a label, because the truth is once it's not really true. In other words, whatever that label is for you, whatever your true authentic is, it's like it's anchored in or something. So then you release that label too. It's like it no longer matters because you got to the core of you, the heart of you. So your authenticity shines through. So it's you no longer need to identify or worry about intentions or think about intentions. It's like you fully can drop and smash. It's like, is that what that is? Is that the smashing of the ego, or is that the idea of releasing of it completely? It's like you free from all those lies and ties, but also all those labels and judgments, even of oneself, because you're authentically shining through. So it's just pure you. So it's no longer a need to assess intentions. That actually has made the most sense to me. So it's like, before I was always like assessing my intentions, trying to remain present, make sure I was not going the right path, all these things. But once we've busted through, now all that gets to drop too. It's like all that has to drop because it's already dropped. It's like it's non-existent. I still don't know if I can say it correctly, but I see it clearly. And I think I understand it better now with the idea of those words and labels were just to help me to get here. I think it is, like I said, I think it was last night. I think it was like that idea of A to B, B to C, C to D. Okay, now you're at D. Forget A, B, and C. They literally were just to get you to D because you couldn't jump from A to D. And it's like now you're on the mountain of D and everything before has crumbled to nothingness. You can't go back if you wanted to. And then D, you jump all the way down to M, and then you drop everything before M. You couldn't go back if you wanted to. It's like you get to certain heights, levels, layers, whatever, and it's like you lose the option of going back, but you don't want to anyway. It's irrelevant, but it's another like mind fuck or warp of, it's like not coming to terms with it, maybe. It's like understanding it, or like, it's more like, what is it? It's like, huh? It's like, how did I get here when that never existed prior? It's like, well, that had to exist and be manifested for you to step this way. You wouldn't step this way without seeing those steps. So we put the steps there for you to see. So we got you here, but those steps never actually existed. But you wouldn't step this way until you saw or thought they existed. So, fine, go ahead, they exist. Sure, here you go. So now you're willing to go A to B, B to C, C to D. Then you turn around and there's no such thing as A, B, and C. But you had to believe that A, B, and C were there for you to step on A, B, and C. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stepped on A, B, and C. So you just convinced yourself that they actually existed. But they did not. And now that you're at D, you can see and realize that. But you can hear how that can also be a bit of a mind fuck. And so I feel like that's what they're doing with me. I had to believe that intentions mattered for me to get to the heart of me. I had to believe in good and bad. I had to believe in good and evil. I had to believe in right and wrong for me to move along. Otherwise, I was too stubborn and wouldn't move along. There has to be a right and a wrong. There has to be intentions matter. I've proven it so. I've proven it right. Because that's what we do. And the majority agree. See, I have proof in the pudding and in the numbers. And so we made it so. But now that you're here, none of that matters. You're at the heart of you. Your authenticity is shining through. It's clean, clear, and pure. You are who you are. So what? It's like no longer in question. It's like I no longer have to prove it to myself. And so, in no longer having to prove it to myself, it evaporates as a need or a question or a lack or a fill. It just doesn't exist because it's no longer relevant to the equation. But I had to see the long division, otherwise I wouldn't accept. So it's like I had to invent A through Y to get to Z. Once I've reached Z, A through Y vanishes. into thin air because it never existed to begin with. It's fascinating. Our mind is so powerful. How do you choose to use it? Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.